I'm gonna cut all this out. Just gotta strengthen up your cameraman skills. That's all. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Zach with Veteran Construction. So I haven't done a video yet on ridge vent. Sorry for my loud gun. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but in order to get this thing to stop pissing air, you can take a little bundle, take the wrapper off the bundle, a little guy, wrap it around there and do it. But I'm only doing ridge cap. This is the last little bit left. We ran short one bundle. So anyway, we're getting ready to do the ridge vent here. We shot this down, we rolled this out, shot this down with regular 1¼ nails, and then now we're ready to lay the cap. But now we're going through, you see these nails I've already laid here on my little tar line catcher. These are, they're a little more raised, so we gotta use the longer nails that come in the ridge vent box. They're 1¾ inches, okay? So every gun has this, where here's where you do with your 1¼ inches. You wanna make sure you adjust this down, okay? Now that's down. And then, this is like a used little roll, so hopefully it goes well. All right, and then we're just gonna pop that in there. Come on now. Here we go. Let's go. Nails. All right. Boy cub rolled them back up dumb. Okay, so they're good. All right, so what I did here, what I had done here is I took a regular piece of shingle and I just cut it right here and then installed that part right there, okay? And what I'm doing is, that's allowing this part right here to have a little tar catcher. Not everybody does that, all right? Now, there's not really a way to snap your line to keep this stuff straight on the ridge. Back when people used to use 3 tabs, you used to be able to snap a line down the center, and the 3 tabs had a little slit right here you could line up. But on these ones, these are the Pro Edge because it's Owens Corning. They're the breakaways, so they're already perforated. We just break them out of the package and they end up like this. If you look, these are just barely bigger than this ridge vent. This ridge vent here is like, I believe 10½ inches wide. The shingle, the cap itself is closer to 12, and these little back parts are probably roughly 10¾ if this is 10½ So what I do to cheat this, to make sure it goes pretty straight, is I just put this far end because I'm right-handed. If you're right-handed, you should stand on this side while you cap. What I do is I just get a stack on my foot, okay? My gun here. So usually, as a right-handed shingler, you want your line on the front side of you, so you can pop it on, and you just see that line, and then give it one of these, okay? So we're going to just line up this edge with that, and you can see I'm almost flush on here too still. So that's gonna help me keep this ridge cap extra straight. Now with the ridge vent, you wanna, oh shoot. You wanna put these nails towards the end. Now I'm gonna show you something. Inside that ridge vent box, it comes with one of these things. I like to use these. For a long time I didn't. Then I discovered them because nobody else is using them. I was like, I kinda like having them. Because the problem you get with these ridge vents is you'll get craters in your nails, and that's why they give these to you, okay? So I just had to nail real nice and soft, but I got 2 nails there, all right? I can nail a little bit faster if I put this thing on. All right. So, what we're looking for is we want to nail pretty close to that end there, and you don't want this to crater. If it makes a crater, you're going to get a blow through. See, like that? That's not a good nail. It hit something in there and ricocheted. Probably one of those many nails that I have in the ridge vent. Now you don't want to nail off the edge where the ridge vent is. You want to stay roughly an inch, 1¼ inch from the ridge vent. I didn't like that one either. Give it a little more, why not? They give you enough nails in here to be a little extra with it. you know, because you will get these blow throughs and everything. So as long as you're not having to 4-nail every piece, you're not going to run out. You know, you probably can get through, it gives you enough nails for 20 feet of ridge vent is what comes in a box. And you could probably do about 28 foot if you get away with some good nails the whole time. All right, now I'm getting closer to the end. So what I do is I got to cut another one of these. So I'll show you guys that. All right. This landed pretty nice. I'll just square that up with that. Give it a little something to hold. I'll use that for my cover over. Put this real flush with that. Okay. Those two nails can probably get hammered, so I got my hammer both. Now when you hammer these, you don't want to slam it home, okay? Because those nails are almost good. You see how it's holding up against the shingle? I just drove that like 1/8 of an inch. This one needs just a little bit more than that. Okay. You just want to make sure it's catching some meat, and then it's not going to poke out. All right, and then what I do here is I just cut this back to expose that other tar line. Not that it's really needed, because you're about to put 4 nails in this one. All right, and then usually I put the cut side towards like the side nobody sees. So for example, this is the driveway. Really, it does not matter. Not a person in the world is going to call me out on which way I put this, but it's just like a little bit of a preference thing. And we just 4-nail this. Now, I had somebody comment yesterday and said, instead of caulking these and leaving it exposed, like I did over here, you can see this, or like here, I'll just show you real quick. By the way, I usually use quad. That's my choice for outdoor exterior caulking, but Home Depot was out of quad, and so I just bought this. And then Allied, the place where I get all my shingles from, they had it in stock, and I was like, oh, I'll just try this stuff out anyway. It's not really even black. It's supposed to be. It's more like a charcoal color to me. Trying to put it on there, trying to make it look nice because it will be exposed. Some people will take it to the extreme and do, they'll like rub 2 pieces of cat together, get a bunch of granules saved up, and dump them over it. But realistically, if you look over there at that one, you can hardly even, I mean, it doesn't like stick out. We did a color match color, so that's fine. Somebody yesterday was trying to tell me that rather than leaving those exposed caulks, and he said this on YouTube, and I really do look at the comments, and I like listening to people, and I love hearing constructive advice. I've heard things that either have made me realize something I've forgotten or I wasn't doing. Like for example, in my the one video that's got like 350,000 views, I like to lay my starter out, you know, at least on all the bottom, just knock it out real quick, then it's out of the way for the whole job on an easy walker. And he just brought up to me like I didn't bring my nail all the way to that, or my starters, I could have brought them down or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but fuck, I took his advice, you know what I mean? Like that was one thing I've done before in the past, and it just wasn't part of my routine anymore. Somebody told me I could start, rather than pounding a nail and snapping the line on my ridge vent in that video, I could have just made a little nick on this edge instead of pounding a nail in. Took my thing through there. I haven't tried it yet, but that's good advice. Another guy told me when we were doing the back here, we couldn't walk it. It would have been a waste of time walking that entire back side over to this side, having guys over here catching the shit we're throwing over. So we dropped it all off on the tarps, which was really nice for that far side, because we had nice big overhang. And he told me I should do, rather than bigger tarps, a bunch of 8x10s. And then really, you can almost have 2 or 3 men drag those tarps as you go. You won't have to move it again. Great advice. You know, so I listen to all that stuff. This one guy, though, he told me I should cut this here, right? Take a bunch of that stuff on here, and then laminate this over it. That way, there's never any nails. Like still caulk these up, take a bunch of this all over and just put this over it. Doesn't seem like a bad idea, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of one of them, if it's not broke, don't fix it. As long as you color match caulk, you'll never have a homeowner bring it up. Nobody, you know, and even if they did, like go up there and cover it up with something a little more color match, or even try it his way. But that's something I've never come across. Nobody's ever complained about something as minor as that. So that's really not a big deal to me. Now, one thing you do want to be careful about, you guys can follow me on this one, because I didn't do this section. One of the guy who basically, like, I shingled with for my whole career for like 5 years, he's an animal, and he's an absolute savage still. He's like 45 years old. I've mentioned him numerous times here. He actually did this ridge vent down here, and I noticed from the ground the way that the cap looks, right? So come on down here, boy cub. Get kind of low so they can see what I'm talking about here. A little lower, lower. Hey, put that camera up still. All right, squat down. So you can see these nails are indenting right here where they're supposed to go, right? It's all good nails. All good nails, they're all holding, but look at right here. I can tell from the ground that this was kind of pushed up. So you can see like that nail had blown through. You have to be very careful on ridge vent that you don't have this, because wind's gonna drive up this roof and this is gonna start going here. Like, yeah, it'll be stuck down here and it'll be stuck down here, but this is gonna start to catch wind. And over years, when you start getting that heavy wind, then this one's gonna wiggle loose, then this one's gonna wiggle loose, and eventually that's how you get that 6-foot section that flies off. I'm sure you guys have been to repairs like that. So you guys do have to be very careful about your nailing and pay attention to it. That's a solid nail there. Now it's held down. This one I believe I loosened up already too, just to show you guys that. But you know, so nothing else looks like that anywhere else. So there's my little tidbit on how to do ridge vent. And my bad, I forgot to show you guys how straight this turned out, because I did talk about how to keep them straight. So you deserve to see it. Willing to show my product. Never had a problem with it in my life. Don't got a problem with it now. I think it looks pretty good. Stuff will seal down nice. Still plenty more hot days to come this year. At least a couple more in the 80s. Yesterday was 90 and it's September 11th. Not 11. So you see the difference. He kind of just did whatever there, whatever he was on. I don't know, versus me kind of trying to keep that a little straighter. I kind of figured that out a little bit yesterday, so this side might not be as straight as the one I just showed you. I feel like that's not too bad though. But yeah, I figured out that trick on here a little bit, and that's the way I'm going to be doing it from now on with these breakaways, is kind of figuring it out. And not every cap is the same, so some of them might have a little bit of a bigger back section, so you guys are going to have to pay attention to that. It's probably not a one size fits all kind of rule I just gave you there, but you know. All right, later.